With the way things turned out, it's starting to look as though our rights are as easy to give away as checking "Yes, I understand" on a privacy policy box. Remember, you fully agreed to it. It's very possible that all of us have done it at some point in time where we click yes without reading the entire agreement, and shame on you if you did. You don't deserve your rights anymore. The desire for new technology seems to override our desire for privacy while more and more devices invade our homes. From possibly your favorite video game console, the various gadgets from the past, here are technologies and devices that are spying on you. Hey guys, this is your host today, American Eye, and I'm bringing to you one of my favorite topics, so sit back, relax, and enjoy the video. Number 13. OnStar Privacy Policy. You might be familiar with OnStar and their roadside services. By being subscribed to OnStar, you can get a variety of safety features and GPS navigation, but that doesn't appear to be the complete story. OnStar has been not only tracking you, but also snitching you out. They have an agreement to release info to the police such as how fast you're driving, and this sneaky company is willing to sell your driving data to the highest bidder. Even once you decide to opt out of their service, you probably already agreed somehow to let them track you, so watch out. Number 12. Alexa? Is Alexa recording our conversations and then storing them on cloud every time and we had no idea? Alexa responds to a trigger word like Alexa, but in order to respond, it has to stay on and listen to you. Government and private entities alike are trying to slip through the cracks of what's socially acceptable. They're able to do this by presenting us with digital Trojan horses that appear to be the latest and coolest technology on the market. Little do you know that you just sold your privacy in return for being up to date. In one well-known case, a woman in Oregon had a conversation with her husband recorded by Alexa, and somehow the entire conversation got sent to someone in her contacts. Hopefully she wasn't talking any trash. Number 11. Your Xbox. How could Xbox do this to us? We thought our video game consoles were our best friends. The owner of Microsoft, Bill Gates, has been up to some shady things lately, such as attending Bilderberg meetings and investing in biotech companies. So why should we trust him with our data? Xbox Connect is similar to Alexa and will respond with a trigger word such as Xbox, for example. The Kinect can turn on a camera microphone and technology that can recognize your face. Almost seems like a little bit too much technology to have in your bedroom or your living room. It seems as though it's always on, possibly recording or gathering some kind of information. The only way to make sure it's not recording you is to unplug it. As of now, it doesn't seem that there's any security breaches on it, but it's just another technological device that could be spying on you. Number 10. Smart homes. Since our lives are becoming intertwined with technology more and more each day, it seems very possible that most of us could be in the future and living inside a giant computer. Since our lives are becoming intertwined with technology more and more each day, it seems possible that most of us could be living inside a computer someday in the future. It might start to get a little bit creepy though when your house starts to read your mind and follow what you're doing. For example, a system is set up that'll recognize who's home or not and will turn off the lights if they don't see anyone around. It might be set to close the blinds in the morning or turn the air conditioning based on your body heat. Smart homes will know what electrical devices are being used too. Mark Zuckerberg's smart house uses artificial intelligence to understand what he says and uses Morgan Freeman's voice to respond. This seems to be the beginning of the smart house trend and just the tip of the iceberg. The AI mirrors might also be the ones to tell Mark to wear the same shirt all the time. Number 9. Nest Cam. Should we all just give up and accept the fact that we'll always be watched by someone, or the fact that our conversations are being always recorded? We might as well just put some of these cameras in our home in order to keep us safe, right? Sounds like a great idea. Now it seems as though Google can be spying on your cat too. Inexpensive security cameras might be an investment that many new homeowners are willing to get. They might also be used by parents to check on their nanny's behavior and so on, but can they be trusted? The main problem is that these cameras are much more sophisticated than we like to think and can record audio. Any video footage can be triggered by a noise and can even be obtained with a warrant to retrieve it. So think twice about getting anything with a camera to use it unless you're the one who wants to do the spying. Number 8. A shoe transmitter. Here's a device you might find interesting during the Cold War. When Western diplomats visited Eastern Europe, they would prefer not to buy their suits and often had them mail-ordered instead. Romanian spies eventually caught on to this and delivered the Westerners a little surprise in their shoes. Working with the postal office, they would intercept packages and insert this tiny transmitter into their shoes that were ordered. The shoes were eventually uncovered during a routine inspection for radio signals. Luckily, it was detected, and the diplomats will learn to begin to bring their own suits next time. Number 7. Credit cards. Well, if you thought going through airport security was bad, that's just the privacy invasion that you're exposed to. How would you feel if the government was tracking your credit card purchases as well? If you thought America was home of the free and this would only happen in communist countries, you need to open your eyes. An act called the Hot Watch Act basically means that the government can track in real time your credit card transactions, hotel reservations, your movements on airplanes, and so on. They don't need a warrant because this is basically in fine print when you sign for your credit card, and most people don't always realize this. Many criminals have been caught from tracing their credit card transactions. Number 6. Microchip. At some work environments around the world, some employees will be happily inserted with a microchip if it means that they get a respectable salary. But at what cost is our freedom? The microchips are fitted with the same technology as credit cards and can also be used to open doors, log into computers, etc. The company Wisconsin claims that it won't be used to track people off the clock, but how sure can we be? It would likely keep a record of each time you use the bathroom, how long you were there, and still collect data on the users. It's likely that people might be shunned for refusing the microchip and get labeled as a conspiracy theorist. It's still in its experimental phase, and the CEO of the company even claims himself that the devices could be used in nefarious ways. Number 5. Webcams. Imagine you're just hanging out online, and before you know it, someone is sending you naked photos of yourself telling you to pay up or else. That's basically what happened to Miss Teen USA back in 2004. A guy who went to her school, Jared Abrahams, was hacking webcams of anywhere from 150 to 200 people. It's not just random people who might hack your webcam either. Basically, in exchange for us using Facebook, we have this guy to thank for us giving up our personal data and privacy. Because of Edward Snowden, we now know that the FBI had secretly spied on its citizens for several years. They're also able to trigger the computer's webcam without even the recording button coming on. The common person might not need to worry about this, but depending on your profession and your record, the government might want to watch you and take a look at you through your webcam, so watch out. Number 4. Cheap car insurance. Have you thought a little bit about saving money on your car insurance? Are you willing to cough over some privacy in exchange? Some automobile companies are willing to make this offer, and you should be a little bit hesitant to abide by the requests. Drivers are instructed to insert tracking devices into their car, which will let the automobile insurance company know how fast you're driving, how often you drive, and where you drive to. All this data can be used to either lower or raise your rates. It wasn't until 2013 that Progressive decided that they would use it to slap customers with higher, more unfair rates than usual. They're what's known as telematic devices that get plugged into your car underneath your steering wheel and will retrieve a boatload of information about your daily life. Will the insurance companies raise your rates if they suspect you go to a bar too often? Will they constantly be tracking how fast you go, looking for the slightest flaw in your driving in order to raise your rates? Very possible. Number 3. The Insectocopter. Someone would sound crazy if they said that a dragonfly outside floating around was actually transmitting intelligence to the government. It turns out that's exactly what the government wants you to think. This hovering insect drone is another device known as an unmanned aerial vehicle, or simply known as a UAV. It can pick up footage from wherever it decides to flap its wings. This one here is still like a fossil compared to others on this list, but still intriguing nonetheless. Number 2. Smart TVs. While you're watching TV, could it be watching you right back? It might sound like something out of a science fiction film, but it's becoming a reality. A consultant named Jason Huntley found out that his LG flat screen that was located in his living room had secretly been invading the privacy of him and his wife. The television seemed to be showing him targeted ads for cars and other things based on the TV shows he had been watching. Well, the truth is, those ads weren't just shown based on the shows he liked. It turned out that the smart TV had been listening to the details of his conversations about the things he liked, and even noticed the style of clothing. So be careful getting one of those new high-tech flat screens at your house. And number 1, the Pigeon Camera. This is almost like your first primitive use of drones in a way. Pigeons always seem to be just about everywhere, kind of like the government. Without the advanced technologies that we have today, pigeons were all they had to work with. This replica is of one of the first spy pigeons and displays how a camera was attached to it. Anyways, with their speed and reliability, pigeons can return back priceless cargo of footage of enemy positions.